2 TB USB stick from Wish for 15 euros? Let's find out. Hi everyone, my name is Robert Mizen and welcome to my channel. On this channel you're going to find everything from tech, including Wish review products. I've reviewed a couple of products before and today we're reviewing a 2 TB USB stick from Wish. These are quite famous for being quite terrible. I paid 15 euros, so I'm going to open it up here on camera and then we're going to plug it into my computer and then we're going to see what we actually got for the 15 euros I spent. This is the packet that it came in. First, it's just a huge amount of red flags. The packet actually doesn't even say it's a USB stick, it just says USB and then it says USB cable, so that's really interesting. On the back of the packaging, it doesn't say anywhere at all that it's a USB stick. It actually mentions a wire, which is also strange because it's a USB stick. So it says it's a wire. So basically this is a packaging for a USB cable, not a USB stick. So yeah, let's have a look inside anyway. We've got a key ring chain. I'm not sure I'm going to take it anywhere, but now I'm going to tell you right off the bat that this weighs so little. It's so light. And if you know anything about memory and storage inside of USB sticks, you'll normally find these little like RAM and NAND modules inside, and they don't weigh very much, but a capacity of 2 TB would be noticeable. The USB stick has a sticker that says 2 TB. Now, I'm assuming they probably just make loads of these and they just stick whatever you order on. So if you order 2 TB, they'll just put a sticker that says 2 TB, and if you order one, then they'll put a one on there, I'm imagining. It does say USB 3 on the listing, but I can see already that this review is going to be a shit show of a product, because inside I can see that it's definitely not USB 3 inside. The connectors are not USB 3 standard for sure, but I bought this so you don't have to. I'm going to plug it in and let's see what we've got. As a quick note to this USB stick, what I have here is a Samsung 128GB USB stick. So you can get large USB sticks, but this is 128GB and it's noticeably heavier than this. Now, granted, this is USB-C and USB 3. It's a lot more noticeably heavier than the USB 3 2 TB USB stick. So, and I paid 30 euros for this one, and that was 128GB, and this one is 15 euros for 2 TB. I'm really not got much faith in this. I'm going to switch the camera over to the computer and then we're going to take a look at what we actually got for the 15 euros. We are at the computer now. You can see my desktop. I'm going to open up the Explorer, and as you can see here we have the Explorer. Let's go to the computer. And as you can see here, as is typical with all of these types of devices, and if you don't know, if you're not knowledgeable in this subject, you will see that it says 2 TB, 1.9 TB, because the way that these drives work is basically they edit the header of the storage medium inside the USB, basically the interface, and it basically says, hey, this is 2 TB, and anyone can modify that if you know how. And so someone will buy this for 15 euros, plug it in their computer and be like, wow, I've got a 2 TB USB stick for 15 euros, which is just obviously insane. And if you double click and go inside, it seems fine. And if I double click and go inside now, and then what we'll do is we will go to new and create like a text document here, and you can see it works, right? But the way to actually see what you've got is to go to a program called Chip Genius, which I've got here. And I've loaded up Chip Genius, and as you can see, we've got the information of this USB mass storage device, which was in slot D. And you can see here, it's not USB 3, it actually says USB 2. So it's not USB 3 speeds, obviously. And if you go down to here where it says flash ID code, what you can see is the flash modules that are inside the USB stick. And what this is telling me is that this is actually a 32 gigabyte USB stick. That's because inside there is only a flash module, one of them, for 32 gigabytes. No more flash modules, nothing more, just 32 gigabytes. So this is not 2 terabytes. If we close down this, what we can do is we can run a little test called H2 test. This is quite a good little program. What you can do is you can generate a file and tell it to go to some device. So select target, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on the USB drive here, drive D, and what it does is it will make a kind of template file of the size that you want to specify. What it's saying here is, hey, I can make a 2 terabyte file for you, which we're not going to do. Instead, we're going to write a file of, let's say, let's write, it's in megabytes. So if we write 1000 megabytes, which is a gigabyte, we will write that now. We'll see what happens. As you can see here, we've waited about 20-30 seconds so far, and it's writing at barely 10 megabytes a second, which is so below USB 3 speeds that this will take forever. So I'm just going to click abort, even for a 1 gigabyte file. So it just goes to show you that the standards of this are really, really bad. So what I'm going to do now is eject this from the computer because we don't want this crap anymore. So can you buy a 2 terabyte USB stick from Wish? The answer to that is no. No, you cannot. Certainly not for 15 euros. I haven't got the numbers on me now, but a 2 terabyte USB stick at this point probably isn't even technologically possible to fit that many modules inside of something so small. You only have to look at M.2 NVMe drives to know that it's going to take up more space. This Samsung drive, and this is by no means the largest drive there is, obviously, it's 128 gigabytes and it is noticeably thicker and costs twice as much. This is only 32 gigabytes. Is 15 euros for a 32 gigabyte drive worth it? No, because as I've just pointed out, you can buy a 128 gig USB stick here, which is USB 3 and USB-C, and it's Samsung, so it's by a brand that you know, and it costs twice as much. So 30 euros and 15 euros for quadruple the storage or more, plus an actual USB 3 and USB-C interface. So don't buy USB sticks from Wish. They are a terrible, terrible deal. They are almost entirely always a scam. Reputable brands won't sell on Wish because, I mean, why would you? You know, the reviews on Wish, they show that it's basically 5 stars and 4 stars because, as you've seen in this video, if you plug it in, it will say 2 terabytes in the Explorer. And what will happen is when you copy a file over to it, and if your files are more than the actual storage, which in this case is 32 gigabytes, all that will happen is that the file will continue to write, even if it's larger than 32 gigabytes, but it will overwrite the previous data blocks. So you'll just end up with corrupt files. So if you're going to rely on any kind of USB sticks for data, you really, really need to avoid this. So I suggest that you share this with your family and friends. Don't buy these kind of sticks. So you need to be really careful when buying USB sticks and storage devices. It's got your data on, your data is super important, and they are always the scam. Now I've bought this, you don't have to. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give a like to the video, and if you do like the content, subscribe. It does mean a lot to me. I do these videos because I enjoy them, and I hope that you do too, and I will see you in the next video.